Hi, this is Kelly. I'm here with the guy named Guy, the real guy,
The real guy.
the real guy,
I'm not the dude.
not the dude, not from the Big Lebowski. And we're here to talk about his real life example of how he went from being a victim of big media corporations, Comcast and Verizon, to being pretty much independent financially from them through cord cutting and also a little bit of a phone modification as well. So before you started this adventure with me in lowering your cable internet, your basically your media bill, you were paying close to almost $400 a month, right?
Absolutely correct. $400 a month between the Comcast telephone and the Wi-Fi.
Right. So when we started working together on this little project, and I call it the Limbo Project. How low can you go? Um, his monthly average cable and internet bill for the month of 2022 was at least $280 a month on average, and so that included cable TV, internet, the modem rental, cable box rental, and things of that nature. And then also on top of that, he was paying roughly about at least $100 a month for his Verizon phone bill. So after we were talking about how much he was paying, uh, we decided to go on a little project and see how low we can go. And one thing to Guy's credit was he was on board with saving as much money as possible. Would you disagree?
I do not disagree.
Okay. Because you would rather obviously put that money to use, versus paying.
Well, yeah, paying, paying my bills maybe, money like that.
Right.
Instead of paying for something that I have now through Mr. Hood here that works superbly.
Sure.
And my whole home is totally changed. And I still have the access to what I want to watch. My phone bill is,
Your phone bill currently right now is $17. So with the combination of removing services and then also finding sources of television that were out there in a more accessible and also more financial feasible way,
true,
we were able to cut his, let's say, total expenditure down from about $380. Now he's down to about $85 a month.
a month, folks, a month.
Yeah, quite a bit of a difference. This was a process, so it did take some time of discovery, and Guy was kind of like the guinea pig to put this whole process together to offer to other people if they choose to save money versus being a financial slave to their television and cable TV and
Thank you, Mr. Hood.
internet and phones. So,
How true.
yeah. Obviously the first thing was to identify, the how much everything was put together, and then also to identify, just making a slight difference in behavioral changes as far as how he brought in TV to his home, and then also how he accesses the TV shows that he likes. Would you say that there was probably a little bit of a learning curve going into learning something new? Would that be wrong?
That's not wrong. That's the truth. But with help from Mr. Hood here, it made it much more easier for me to get through all of this. And it was very easy to do once you get the knack of it. It's no different than, the cable or anything else, except you're not paying as much.
Right. And actually, come to find out that he's actually probably getting maybe a few more things that he didn't have before. Plus, what he's paying now is actually he can choose what he wants to pay for. So he also has a couple other subscriptions like to Amazon Prime and to MovieMax that he's paying for. So your total bill, through your choices is slightly over $100 a month, which is still a lot less paying for, and a lot more getting, so to speak.
Thank you very much.
You're getting more bang for your buck, so to speak.
Yes.
Now, one of the things I want to point out about Guy is, as I mentioned, Guy, to his credit, was on board, full bore, and I can imagine that a lot of people will be shy and hesitant because they are not readily, open to changes, so to speak. Once they've learned something, they're afraid to make a change. Now, as far you just mentioned that there was a slight learning curve on how to access your programming and stuff, and you mentioned that once you got the knack of it, it was pretty easy. So
very easy.
So the learning curve was worth the savings, right?
Absolutely, please.
Right.
The savings.
Yeah.
It was just phenomenal, and I love this what he says. As low as you can go.
Yeah. So this process actually took a little bit over a month to discover.
Yes.
Because and each individual household circumstance is different. It depends on, there's a lot of variables. So, like for Guy, for instance, he qualified for extra internet savings based on his military service. He was in Vietnam. He's a Vietnam vet. So there was a program offered through the cable company, which the cable company doesn't outright tell you about. You have to kind of know about this and apply for it. So he got that extra benefit. Also, shuffling things around, like his phone to combine with his internet. Again, not a lot of people know about it, but Verizon wasn't going to tell Mr. Sheridan that his Verizon phone could be switched over to Comcast Xfinity, and then drop his bill down to $17 a month, because they pretty much hammered you once you bought that phone.
Oh,
right?
my gosh, they had me, badly.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't even realize it, folks, until you delve into this and go, I've been paying this all this time for what?
Right.
For what?
Right. And Guy, so for instance, on his phone, Guy is a person who has his phone and he uses his phone, but he only uses it for talking, just like like it was intended to do. It's not a portable hotspot or media streaming device when he's out grocery shopping, And so he didn't need to have all that extra stuff on his phone bill. Yeah. He does have data when he needs to use it, so he's not depriving himself of anything. It's just a matter of cutting out all that excess, that extra fat, so to speak. Let's see. What else to talk about here before we wrap this up? So basically, it's a choice. Given the economy these days in inflation, things are not going to go down in price; they're only going to go up. Yeah. So if you're saving at least $100 a month, $1,200 a year, what does that add up to? Well, you can put that towards a vacation, or you can put that towards stuff around the house. Or
how about groceries?
How about groceries? Yeah, those have definitely shot up pretty quickly, and I'm pretty sure they won't come back down due to our financial policies in the government.
In the government. So
yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, so just to wrap it up, also the other thing is, Guy had someone, and I don't like to pat myself on the back, but I'm accessible whenever Guy had a question, because I didn't want to put Guy in a worse position than what he was in before, because it's just not the right thing to do. The technical advice that I gave him, and then also finding out programs and stuff, and then here's the other caveat to his cost savings, is his TV package that he now is under. We actually share that, and we actually share that with another person. So that's part of the limbo process. How low can you go? Is to take advantage of whatever services are out there and what their flexibility and how you can maximize the dollar return on investment or the savings of that as well. So, the technical advice, so like when, for instance, Mr. Sheridan is an older school gentleman, so having his modem and router hooked up, he let me help him out with that, and I'm gladly did it for him. And all the other stuff that went into kind of retraining him on how to watch his television and access his television programming that he likes,
Yes.
came with the package. So it wasn't just, hey, I'm going to dump a bunch of equipment on your lap. Good luck figuring it out. And I'll talk to you in like 2 weeks.
That's true.
Yeah.
I would call this man, say, hey, listen, how do I figure this out or that out, And immediately he said what to do and did it. I took care of it, and it was done. And it worked perfectly. The guy's a genius to save me this much money. Please, listen.
Well, thank you for the compliment. I do
You're
appreciate
welcome,
that.
Mr. Hood.
All right. Okay, well, I've rambled on enough. Guy has stuff to do with his day. So we're going to cut this video right now, and then, this is not a BS fairy tale. This is real and legit. So anyways.
This is true.
There will be a link in the description for the case study of Guy, where you can actually look at his bill and stuff like that. And then if you're interested in learning how to cut the cord and getting more financially independent from the major communication companies, feel free to reach out to me in the information provided either in the description or in the contact information that I send you in the email. So anyways, take care. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.